Hello, today is Saturday, June 10th, 2023, and I am Jason Shapiro with crowdedmarketreport.com. Last week I did a video and there were quite a few funny comments about my chair and how it was such an old chair and everybody should chip in to, buy me a new chair and all that. And while there's some humor in that, there's also a very important point here, I believe. And by the way, I got a new chair this week, so thank you for reminding me of that, because the truth is that old chair had a piece of metal sticking out of it for the last 8 months. It's been digging into my back, okay? But there's a reason why I haven't bought a new chair, despite the fact that there's a piece of metal digging into my back, and it's because it's so ingrained in my brain at this point not to spend money, okay? Because as a trader, the last thing you want to think about is money, right? You want to be thinking about process. You want to stick to your process that's going to work over time. And even within that process, there's going to be periods where you have drawdowns and you lose money. And if you're thinking about, oh my God, I need money this month because I have this expense and that expense and the other expense, it's going to get in your head. It's going to get you off process. As soon as you have a profit, you're going to take it. When you have a loss, you're not going to be able to take it because you can't afford it, right? None of these things have anything to do with process. So you need to surround your life, if you want to be a trader and you want to make your living by being a trader, you have to surround your life with that thought process in every single way. Okay. I manage a CTA now. I had one before, about 15 years ago. I broke out of a hedge fund. I started this CTA and I wanted to be a big shot, right? I wanted to manage billions of dollars and I wanted to do the whole thing. And I had a whole bunch of people working for me and I had this nice office. And what that led me to do was I had to go out and raise money all the time, right? And I had to accept investors, any investor that would come to me, I had to accept because I needed the fee to pay for this expensive business that I was running. And that led to a bunch of nightmares. I had some investors that really weren't fit for what I was doing, right? And so as soon as I had like a down month, they'd be on the phone calling me up, telling me I suck, getting in my head. And this is not what you need, right? You don't need, trading is hard enough psychologically, right? This is all about a battle with yourself. So people getting in your head and things getting in your head that have nothing to do with the actual trading is exactly what you have to avoid. I live in a house like most people. It's a very normal house. I don't live in any kind of mansion by any means, all right? It's a normal house. And the reason I live in a house like that is because I was able to pay cash for it. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have to worry every month about meeting my mortgage, right? I drive a car. I drive a very normal car, right? I have no sports cars. And the reason I do that is because I pay cash for my cars. I don't have to make a car payment, all right? Because I'm trying to surround my life with having as little expenses as I possibly can so that that won't get into my head as a trader. Everything I do, including my personal finance, is surrounded by that idea, right? Just get to a place where the trading and the process is what matters, nothing else. There's a story about how Sam Walton, who started Walmart and was the richest man in America and maybe the world at the time, drove around a 20-year-old pickup truck. I admire that. There's a story in, I believe it is reminiscent of a stock operator, where they're talking about how they were visiting some companies, and they visited one company, and the CEO was there, and he had this beautiful office and these gold embossed, letterhead and all that stuff. And then they go to another one, and the CEO is sitting there in his office, and he's taking envelopes from the letters that he's received, and he's cutting them up to fold them out and make them into a piece of paper that he's then using as scrap paper. And that's the kind of company they wanted to invest in. Well, that's the kind of person I want to be too, right? And you can see, just as an aside, okay, this right here is every piece of paper that comes across my desk, okay? And that gets quartered, and I use them as my paper every day. Here's my to-do list for today, written on one of these little pieces of paper, okay? So that's the idea, right? You cannot let money get into your head when it comes to trading, because you have to stick to your process in a very, very disciplined way. And these other things should have nothing to do with that, all right? So that's why I have an old chair, although now I have a new chair. But that's why this chair will be with me probably until I die, right? Which might be soon, but hopefully will be, a good 20, 25 years, right? And that's really the lesson that I wanted to put across, right? So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you all have a good week trading. And we'd love to see you on crowdedmarketreport.com. All right, thank you. Have a good week.